So with this kind of heightened media attention and this kind of like through line that's going along, is that impacting your organization's ability to do the work the same way that you've always like? Are you facing more pushback, more questions, more intensity?
I mean, I would say there's more pushback. I think there's awareness and a focus on where, what are we doing? How are we doing it?
Like from the community
Yeah, I
or
mean, I think from ourselves
oh,
also, right? Like, I think, but I think also partially from people who work with us. I think there's a statewide kind of conversation about what have we done for the last 10 years or however long, and what's worked and what hasn't worked, and where can we invest more.
mhm,
I think so. I think there's heightened attention, and I appreciate the heightened attention and focus, right? I
mhm,
think it's good that not necessarily that we sensationalize it, but I think issues that need support do deserve extra attention. We should be talking about them.
mhm.
uh, the hope is that, like, the dollars and the funding and the support, that it doesn't turn into a punishment of systems that have been trying versus funding those systems that are working and helping kind of help us move these things forward.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think we talked before we started about that homeostasis, right? I'm a runner. I went out for a run. I see folks sometimes sleeping along my running route. Just like, how do I be a more mindful person
Mhm.
of folks who are sleeping out, right?
Mhm.
How do I mean, I'm out running at 5:30 in the morning. How do I not be a jerk when I'm like sprinting by? Like, okay, I have to pick a different route.
Mhm.
Right? Let's be mindful of our unhoused neighbors, but also
Mhm.
it's not normalized. It's not where people should be in theory. Like, we should be able to find housing for folks
Mhm.
in a society. Like, that's what society should be.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's you know I push against the urge to make it okay personally. Like, this isn't an agency thing, but necessarily, although I think most people agree, but me at least, I push against the urge to say it's totally fine that, I mean, that folks are not well and out here on, and sleeping on the streets. And like, it's like, well, we should be able to, we should live in a society that can offer people places to live.
Right.
That should be a base level of understanding, right, for
Yeah.
people. Same way we should be able to offer folks medical care and everything, and and the other basic needs that they need. I think those are kind of human ethical standards I think we should be able to live by. And at the same time, it doesn't help people to stigmatize and to sensationalize problems. I think those are not helpful towards a solution.
Every time that I've gone to this space with you about like kind of this media thing, you've gone back to what I'd say is just like the most um, practical application of thinking here, which is it's not okay that people don't have homes. Um, it's not their fault that they don't have homes, but
Yep.
it's as a society, we should be able to provide a situation where everyone who wants a home should have some form
Yep.
of stable, consistent housing. And if people have such concerns, great. We should be really reflective of our system and what we're doing, what's doing well, what's
Yep.
not doing well, and then help us by giving us the money and the funding
Yep.
to get to that place where everyone should have a home.
Yep.
So it's like I could stamp my feet over here and be like, yo, we have to be doing all these things for
Yeah.
people. And then someone else could be like, we're enabling people.
And we're
But in
spending too much money and it's not getting us anywhere. And it's like, well,
totally,
hold on. Okay, let's look at the outcomes. Let's look at how much you put in and how much you got out of it.
totally. But what I love is like every time I go to that space, because like I have a lot of feelings about it where
Yeah.
it's just like I hate seeing it on the news in this like alarm. And it's not that people shouldn't be alarmed, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't think it's on the news from very often from a like helpful alarmist
Yeah.
space. It's from
Sure.
a like sensationalist, like society's crumbling
Yeah.
kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man, like we have a serious problem
Yeah.
and it has gotten worse. And let's do something. And I tend to get in this like and Monica hears me like, like I'll be like stamping my foot, like, well, if everyone wants to be so sensationalist about it, then just give way more money,
Yeah.
like do
Yeah.
this. And then the other side has got all of the discourse about like, well, where's the money going? Da da da.
Yeah.
Whenever I go that space, I love how you like bring it right back to, hey man, I welcome the pressure. It's just going to help us do better.
Yeah.
And nobody's saying that people living without homes is good. In fact, we're all saying it's not.
Yep.
It's not a good situation. So, how do we give as many people as would like a stable, consistent home? How do we give them that while having the best services? Here's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.